In spirituality, we are taught that we must avoid desires. But what about the desire to attain enlightenment or realization or liberation? We must get rid of all the desires except one, except the desire to be free from all desires. Buddha got rid of every desire. He did not want his kingdom. He did not want material satisfaction. He left the luxurious palace for the jungle in search of truth. So Buddha was not completely desireless. He wanted to get rid of his desires because those desires were the cause for all the sadness or dukkha in the world. And desires are bad when we hope that those desires will lead us to some sort of happiness or it will make us feel pleasure, because desires are incapable of fulfilling us. When we realize that all desires are inherently worthless and empty, we will only then move towards the truth. Only then we will separate ourselves from our body, from our mind, from all the desires that we have constantly. The desires we have, they anchor us to this world. Desires do not allow us to move beyond this world into the realm of bliss, into our Buddha nature. Getting rid of all desires is the ultimate hurdle in our path of enlightenment. The sages, the sadhus, they go to the jungle. What do? They want to get rid of all their material desires. They go to the jungle, they go to the secluded places in order to meditate, because when they are in the world, they always get distracted by the five senses, which sees all the material things in the world and gets attracted towards them. In the jungle, in a mountain, nearby a remote river, there are very few distractions, and the sage can solely focus on getting rid of his desires. The sense of I amness, the sense of our identity, that we exist as a person, as a body, that is strengthened because of our constant desires. We want to eat, we want to buy a new house, we want to experience this thing, we want to buy a new car. All these desires, we have them because they are presented to us in a very attractive way. We are told that if we get those things, that it will improve our state of life and our mind. But we already have many of those things in our life, but yet we are not happy. We see in the news all the time that people who have it all, they die by suicide. If having those things would have made us happy, so why are people so unhappy? In spite of having the money, the house, the relationship, the car, the perfect job, why are people still unhappy? It's because of our constant desires. We are never satisfied. There is no point where we say that this is all I want. There is no point where we stop and say that this is enough. We are presented with something new every other day, some new advertisement, some new post on social media, some new influencer or celebrity presenting something in a very attractive way, and we get the desire to have that thing for ourselves. There is a social pressure that we feel in that we must also experience, or we must also have the same things that our friends have, that the people around us have. We don't want to be left out. We want to see what's the fuss about, what are they so happy about. But when we have that thing, when we go to that restaurant, when we see that movie, when we buy that thing, we do not find happiness. We get influenced to get something. But when we get that thing, we realize that there is no happiness. It was all fake. And we have wasted our time and money in order to get that thing. The ones who realize that will realize that all desires are just like that. They promise us everything in the world, but they deliver nothing. So, just like Buddha, we must get rid of all our desires, and that should be our only desire, that we must get rid of all other desires. If we get rid of all our desires, what will happen? We will be self-satisfied. We want to be looking to fulfill ourselves through something, through attaining something, or by being with someone. We will be self-fulfilled, and even then we can participate in the world. But that will be a different experience, because this time we are not needy. We do not need the world to make us happy. We are happy on our own, and we are doing this thing, or we are trying this thing because we just want to see how it feels like. We don't need to get something in order to be happy. If we get rid of all our desires, no advertisement or no social media post, no celebrity can influence us, can make us feel that we are lacking in something, that we are not complete, that we are unhappy, and that we should buy their product in order to become happy. Most of the depression and the suicides that we see in the world is related to desires. It is because of the rampant desires and our realization that we cannot have everything that we want to have. So we decide to be sad, and sometimes we even decide to kill ourselves over it. Getting rid of desires, if we can do it, we are already very near to the Buddha state. All of spirituality is nothing but our quest to get rid of the self, of the I amness. And getting rid of desires is a pivotal achievement, without which we cannot attain self-realization or liberation. So, becoming desireless will lead us to happiness, and will also lead us towards enlightenment. Those are my thoughts on desires. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.